North Texas has some really special nonprofits. Just ahead on the Jeff Crilley Show, a group that is making new possibilities every single day. That's next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show. When you hear the word hipster, what do you think of? I think of maybe a flower child from the 60s. A man who is bringing new meaning to the name hipster is with me today. Michael Thomas from My Possibilities. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, typically it's granola and man buns and, that sort of, and skinny jeans and that sort of thing. We have a different kind of hipster.
All right, tell us about My Possibilities.
Yeah, we're continued education for adults that have special needs. And so hipsters for us means hugely important person. And so these are adults 18 and older. They've graduated out of the public or private school system, and we are that next step of education, job training, therapy, and really trying to create this path to inclusivity for people with disabilities.
Yes. How long have you guys been around?
My Possibilities opened in June of 2008, so just came across our 12th birthday a little while ago.
And you've been growing by leaps and bounds.
We have, yeah. We started our program with 10 hipsters, and today, between educational programming and our jobs program, we see around 600 on a weekly basis. So, but we're still barely scratching the surface of Texans with disabilities that are looking for help.
We were on your website and we pulled some great pictures. We want to share some of those pictures as you talk more about the mission of this wonderful nonprofit. Yeah. Tell me about some stories that touch your heart.
Yeah, you know, they're all over the place. I think what people don't understand is the current system is set up for somebody with special needs to just leave the public school system, and either they're ready for completing, engagement in the community, or they go and spend 4 or 5 days a week in a program that doesn't really have a lot of ambition for gaining new skills, for learning new things, and for getting out in the community. So we'll see people that'll come into the program whose parents say, look, the really goals for them right now is just to be able to go out and eat dinner with their family. And 6 months to 12 months later, not only is that a common occurrence, but we'll have people that are saying, hey, listen, our kid keeps talking to us about employment. Like, what does a job look like? Or what does living independently look like? And we have adults that come in all the time that are, within a few years, move from a level of expectation that even the family didn't have for them to potentially living on their own, working part-time in the community, having a social life. That happens all the time.
Let's talk about the employment challenges and opportunities. I mean, hipsters make great employees.
The best employees. When you think about it, the average company is looking to hire somebody and keep them. They want that person to be productive in their role. They want them to be a good team member, a good, positive boon to the culture of a company, and not leave, right? Because you don't want to have to rehire for that position. Our guys are so proud of their role and so proud to be included in a team, they'll never leave. Will never leave their jobs. So we end up getting really long-term employees. But we found, and a lot of people know this already, people with disabilities, while they may be limited in some realms, typically are really great when it comes to hyper-focused tasks or specific jobs that are repetitive tasks or, and a lot of times, entry-level work. Our guys come in, do it more efficiently, more effectively than the average person. They're not thinking about, when I get off work, I got to go do these things, or I want to watch this show. They're focused on work. So yeah, more often than not, anybody that takes that step into hiring somebody with a disability finds out, oh, this is not just the right thing to do. This is actually a really great business decision. and then we'll start diving into hiring additional people in the future.
Absolutely, and I encourage my viewers to go to their YouTube channel because you have all these wonderful stories. One of them touched my heart. Let's roll that tape now.
My name's Orlando Rivera. They usually call me Tony, and this is my son Tito. When you're a person of special disabilities, kids can be tough. And I think a lot of times they treat you as an outcast. I think Tito experienced that a lot. When My Possibilities was introduced, we saw that there could be a possibility there for Tito, but we also wanted him to make a choice. Tito, knowing his history, interacting with some of the other programs, was kind of reluctant.
At first, as was mentioned, I didn't know what to think. Then after going through and seeing what it is, I got to where it just made it really hard if I didn't want to come. And it just felt very, very cool.
Tito felt like this is a place where I can be me. And I think that has been a large contributing factor to Tito being able to get involved into so many things here at My Possibilities. He feels that he can be a role model to some of the kids. One of the toughest things for a parent is coming to the realization that your son, your family members, I'm sorry, has a disability. What I've learned with Tito is that nothing that I have done compares to what he has done. Every time he does a great thing, when he writes a great poem, when he writes a great story, when he paints a great picture, I look at it and I say, wow, Tito, you're the best. I'm sorry.
I'm very, very proud, and it's been like the best family in the world. I feel very fortunate to have my dad have so much support.
I love you. That's all.
I love you.
Wow, Michael, I got to ask you, has it been a while since you saw that?
Yeah, and I could watch it every day and still get emotional. I think Tito's, he's such an unbelievable human being too, and I think if we had the ability, the number of stories like this that we could capture and tell, they're endless. And now he came in very quiet, very shy, and now he runs a online Facebook group for his friends called Club Hipster that talks about the songs that are like, and socially you see his network expanding.
Yes.
Yeah, just one of hundreds of examples.
So let's do a call to action. Obviously, as a nonprofit, you need donations, job opportunities, volunteers. I don't know.
Yeah, a tremendous amount. Anything that helps demonstrate the value of our guys in the world, in the community is the biggest impact. And right now, I think one of the ways that can be exemplified is through employment. Clearly, on a national level, as a result of COVID, unemployment is a major issue. But in the first 3 weeks, we were supporting 85 adults with disabilities who were working in the community. 65 of them lost their jobs in the first 2 to 3 weeks. They're the first ones to go, and traditionally, they'll be the last ones to get rehired. And so, if there's any place anybody can make a difference, it's to acknowledge that diversity and inclusion efforts are important. Clearly, everybody has them, but rather than wait until everything gets back to normal to then invest in inclusion, now is an absolutely amazing time to consider somebody like Tito. Like, everybody should want to have him work for them.
Absolutely.
He's the most amazing team member, and we can help with that. So anybody that says, I'm interested, we want to take that step, or we want to hire somebody now, or we just want to understand more about it, that's what we do. We'd love to help them out with that.
Well, thank you for your work and all that you put out into the world.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
We're going to put the website up to close out this segment. mypossibilities.org is the website. Michael Thomas, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You bet. And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.